everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. It's been a little while since my last uploads and I haven't been as consistent recently. So that is because I've been doing uni and I've actually finished uni for the semester, so I should be uploading more frequently. So today we're actually doing something a little bit interesting. This is my first time doing it, but I'm going to be ranking an album. Now, today we're going to be doing NF Clouds, the mixtape, as we have gone through all those songs and basically we are now ranking them. So how this is going to work is this is going to be based on 5 different categories. So we have lyrics, we have performance, instrumentals, creativity, and replayability. I find these very important and essential to a song. So we will be going from worst to best. Now, just because I rate something low doesn't mean I think it's bad, just means it's not as good compared to the rest. And this will be done in the form of a tier list. So yes. So without further ado, let's get into it, boys. So first on the list, we have Story. Now, Story's a little bit unfair, I think, in terms of a song because it's more than just a song, really should just be thought of as accompanied by the music video, and it really is just a story told really well. So in terms of lyrics, we don't really have too much to touch on there. It's just cool that we know he's narrating everything that's going on at the time, and it's quite literal, everything he says, which is kind of nifty. Performance wise, we know NF delivers really well on his performances, but this one especially, he delivers quite well. He goes above and beyond to tell the story. In terms of instrumentals, some big cinematic clashes and just really makes you feel like you're in a movie. In terms of creativity, something quite new and something that we haven't really seen before in terms of NF creating a story-like action movie sequence. Was really cool, so creativity levels are very high for this song. In terms of replayability, I'm going to be measuring by how many times I've actually listened to the song, to which I've been using an app called snd.wave. It's pretty good for knowing the stats for how many times you've listened to a song on Apple Music. Therefore, I've only listened to Story 6 times, as this isn't very good at replaying, because it's obviously more a movie-ish kind of thing rather than a actual song. Therefore, I'm going to put Story in D tier. I know that's quite low, but obviously it can't really be compared to the rest, so I'm going to put it at D, even though, yeah, you could rate it higher for its originality. Next, we have Prideful. Now, this song is a good song. Don't get me wrong, NF's made quite a number of these songs before. Ones that come to mind are 3 AM, Got You On My Mind. These are goated songs. These are very good songs he's made in the past, but I think it's not really anything new. So anyway, let's continue with the breakdown. So in terms of lyrics, aren't bad. I do think this is probably one of the weaker tracks in terms of lyrics. And even though he is speaking facts in the song, it isn't as good compared to the rest, and it's kind of pretty straightforward, I feel anyway. And in terms of performance, NF obviously delivers on that, has some cool flow switches in this one, obviously a lot of singing, I did enjoy that. Instrumentals, it's something a little different. The samples he did use are similar to ones he's used before, in I Miss the Days or something else, I think. Creativity, I think, is where it lacks. Obviously, we've heard something similar to this before. It's nothing too out of the ordinary for NF to drop a song like this. We've heard similar tracks before, and even though it might be the better of them, it's still, nothing too original, so that will lose points on that. And in terms of replayability, I did listen to this song still 44 times. I listen to a lot of music, guys, trust me. I like, since it coming out, I jammed to so much music, especially NF and Eminem. I listen to Eminem like every day, but I just listen to a range of artists a lot. So yeah. So therefore, I will be putting this song lower than the rest. I will put this probably at C tier, one above Story. It's a decent NF song, but in terms of originality, it does lack. Next, we have Just Like You. Now, Just Like You has a great meaning, and I do love this song. So, lyrics, I think this song is very good and very motivational to people who are going through mental illnesses and those sort of problems. As he says in the chorus, there's millions of us just like you. You can call out, you can reach out to people and connect and relate. It has a very great meaning behind it, and the lyrics aren't too bad. Performance-wise, this isn't anything crazy from NF. It's still a decent, chill kind of performance-wise song. The instrumentals, I think, is probably one of the better parts of this song. It does, again, feel like a movie. NF is very good at creating these orchestral type beats, working in with Tommy Prophet, as we know, and they work really well together. So, creativity is not bad. It's more a pop kind of song, I guess. Nothing too crazy. I've seen, obviously, very similar things before. It's more original than Prideful, but I don't think it's too much more. In terms of replayability, I played it 50 times, which is actually only 6 more than Prideful. I think the song is very replayable, but I think it could get annoying after a while because, you know, the chorus is the same thing over and over, and that kind of gets to me a little bit. So who knows how long this one will last, but I think, yeah, in terms of the lyrics / meaning, instrumentals, it's quite good. So I will put it one above Prideful at the C tier still. I think it's still in that tier, but better than Prideful at least. I'm not saying Prideful's bad again. Okay, boys. Next is That's a Joke. Now, I know this one is quite low on the list, but I think, just hear me out, alright? So, in terms of lyrics, this song is a lot better than the rest. It has some creative little analogies, and using a joke as an analogy for the whole song, really. The whole song is a joke because obviously he's not being recognized the way he thinks he should. And yeah, it's obviously not the best in terms of lyrics, but it's definitely decent for NF lyrics. Performance-wise, this is probably one of the top tier songs in terms of his performances. He does really well on this. Multiple flow switches, multiple cadences, and it just sounds really, really nice. Instrumentals probably where it lacks a bit here, I think. Sometimes the cartoony type elements, even though they're fun at first, it does get a little bit annoying over time, which also plays into replayability a bit. But it's not bad. I do enjoy the song. Instrumental's not bad, but I think it is one of the weaker tracks in terms of that. Creativity, this one is pretty creative. Definitely is quite good. Replayability, I think this one is decent. Played it 46 times, but I think it is getting a little bit repetitive now. The chorus, that's a joke, even though fire at first, I don't think it's as good as it was, in fact. So I do think this is a tier above Just Like You and Prideful, but only by one, so I'm going to put it at the B tier. Drifting is next. Now, this song is probably the most different track compared to the rest of them. Lyrics aren't bad. He's honing in on an idea there. It's quite good, actually. Hones across this idea of we're all drifting and we don't really know what's going on sometimes. And in terms of performance, the chilled out vocals and the singing is on another level in the song. And the flow switches are insane. By the way, at the end, he switches up and goes fast. It's just really, really awesome. And in terms of the instrumentals, this song is a bit strange. It is a bit strange, but I do think it does grow on you over time. I think the more you listen to it, the better it gets. In terms of creativity, this is probably the most creative song on the list, since the instrumentals are so different and wild, and the beat switch up at the end, and him going nuts at the end as well. And finally, replayability. I've only listened to this one 38 times. I do think you can replay it a bit, but it does get a little bit old over time. And again, the instrumentals is a bit controversial, I think, in terms of who likes it and who doesn't. I think it's either you really, really like the song or you don't. And I really like the song, but it is probably on the same level as That's a Joke for me, so I'm going to put it up in that B tier. If you don't like my opinion, I don't know what to say, man. Just chill with your opinion. Anyway, if you do have an opinion, put in the comments down below. They'll be very interesting to look at. Next is Paid My Dues. Obviously, this song came out quite a while ago. I did listen to this song before any of the songs in the album, I think, except maybe, I think I listened to Clouds before Paid My Dues. So there's that, but we've had a little bit more time to analyze it, and obviously other people have who've listened to it when it came out initially. So, in terms of lyrics, I think the song is very good at what he is getting across, but I think the problem is he's gotten across this concept of him responding to hate, I guess. And he even says it in the song, he shouldn't really be paying attention to this, but he thought he would. I think it's in regards to an article wrote about him and criticizing the search. I think the concept could be a little bit better, and I think that's the main problem with the song. Performance, obviously he goes fire on this song, and this was probably the fastest we've heard him rap when he brought it out, maybe apart from Returns, but it was fire, man. And the whole song has just insane flows, and cadences. And in terms of instrumentals, the song is very good. It's your typical NF kind of dramatics and like similar to The Search or, you know, other songs that he's made. It's very cinematic and very loud and quiet at times, and then boom, out of nowhere. Pretty stock standard for NF instrumentals, which are always pretty good. But creativity, because of the instrumentals, it's not very new. It's a good song. And in terms of replayability, I've actually listened to this song 100 times. It's nuts. It's nuts. It has definitely a good replayability value. Obviously, I think in terms of this one, I'm going to put it probably on the same level as Drifting and That's a Joke, but I will put it at the highest point of that. Let's move on. Next, we have Layers. Now, Layers is a very, very good song. Lyrically, it's probably one of the best, and it's tightened up. It's really nice in terms of the flows. It's very quick at times and slowed down, and just the flows and cadences are on another level. This song, it's a very, very nice hype song. He's obviously talking about the meaning behind putting out this mixtape and what he goes through in making songs. That's kind of point of the song, looking at his layers have layers. I don't know why he didn't mention Shrek in the song, but instrumentals, pretty good. Pretty good, because again, a beat switch up at the end, a little bit longer than Drifting was. Creativity, probably one of the better ones. Again, it's more of your standard rap, but this is just beautifully crafted, this song, and I think definitely deserves this top 4 spot that it's in. Very good. Replayability, I've only listened to it 39 times, which is the 3rd lowest, I think. But I think when you do put it on, it's fire. I think over time, it doesn't have the best replayability, but definitely good to play, you know, when you're jamming out in a session. But yeah, I will put this a level above. I will put this in the A tier. Next, we have Trust. This is into the top 3 now. Trust, I think it's insanity. This song, I can't really describe how great it is. Lyrically, obviously, we have a feature, Tech 9, very highly anticipated, and they delivered. Definitely NF's fastest song in terms of his flow. It's nuts. Performance-wise, kills it. Probably the best performance we've seen from NF. Or maybe not. We'll see. Instrumentals, I love the violins, the broken violin type sound, just brilliant. Completely off tune, but somehow makes it sound fire. It's another hype song. I think it does it better than Layers, and just the added effect of Tech 9, insane, mate. Insane. Creativity, maybe not the best, because there's a lot of really fast songs Eminem's made, obviously Godzilla, Rap God, Speed 'Em, which has been brought to my attention by many of my viewers too, I think. Obviously Speed 'Em, got Tech 9 and Eminem, we've seen stuff like this before. Obviously Tech 9 is just key to the fast rap business. He does it like no one else, mate. Replayability, fire, like I played it 59 times since its release, which is the 2nd highest after Pay My Dues, and I've only listened to Pay My Dues more because it's been out longer. I'm going to put Trust still in A tier just because the only thing it really lacks is there are a lot of songs. It's not very original, but it is fire all the same. And then we have Clouds at 2nd place, just missing out on the top spot. Lyrically, this song is good, but I think it isn't top tier. There are some really fire lines like "rip the teeth out of the back of my mouth is the closest you get to my wisdom," which was fire, mate, fire. This song is just crazy and intense, and it chooses its moments really well, I think. Performance-wise, probably one of NF's best, maybe tied with Trust, I'm not too sure, but he just delivers so well on this song. Like, you go back and listen to all the parts, he just rides with it so well. And the instrumentals are next level. This song probably has one of the best instrumentals. Sure, classic NF cinematics, but it's turned up to another level. It's like a crazy, insane trailer to a movie, man. That's how insane it is. And the music video is very good as well. I would check that out if you haven't yet. Creativity, very creative. This is probably one of the more creative tracks on the playlist. It's just so different and such a different sound. He starts off with "calmly feel myself evolving" to like "ripping the teeth out of the back of my mouth the closest you get to my wisdom." He just goes nuts. And the replayability is very good as well, I find. I've listened to it 96 times, which is insane. I really, really, really like the song. You know what? I'm going to put an S tier. I think it deserves it. As the opener for the album, I think it deserves it. Which brings us to our last song on the list. and that is in fact Lost. What is there more to say about this song? Lyrics are on point, a relevant issue of feeling lost in these times especially, and we don't really know who to look to. NF and Hopsin, dream combination right there. I've still listened to this song, and the fact that I've listened to it 106 times since it came out is insane. This song is definitely the front runner in this mixtape. Yeah, again, lyrically, very good. Some relevant things brought up. NF bringing in those metaphors of looking down the sight or something. I can't remember what it was, but it's a very good motivational song as well. Great for the gym. Very good for the gym. Performance-wise, insane. I would say, I do think Hopsin is better on this track than NF. Not by a crazy amount, but I still think he delivers. This is one of the better Hopsin verses I've seen. And he doesn't swear, which is insane. None of the artists that have performed with NF have sworn with him, which is awesome because, obviously they have a lot of respect for him in that case. And yeah, it's really cool to see artists doing that. Instrumentals, again, really nice. I like the use of violins, and obviously he uses a lot of orchestral type beats, but definitely in Lost, I feel like it's very good. Creativity, insane. Just this was a match made in heaven, mate. Replayability, just through the roof. This is my favorite song, easily. So therefore, it goes at the top of S tier. Anyway, guys, that is the tier list done. Obviously, we have Story in D tier, Just Like You and Prideful in C tier. B tier is Paid by Dues, Drifting, That's a Joke. Trust and Layers in A tier. And finally, Lost and Clouds in S tier. If you do disagree with me, let me know below and don't hate me too much. This is just my opinion. Obviously, everyone has many different opinions, which shows the diversity of the audiences NF is attracting, which I do like that. So, therefore, if you guys did enjoy the video, please drop a like down below. And if you like this kind of style of video, please comment for any suggestions, I guess, for the next ranking. If this dragged on a little too long, let me know. Just give me all the criticisms right now, because this is my first album / mixtape review, I guess. So let me know how it went. Subscribe if you're new, because obviously there's some new content coming your way, and we will be adding a new artist. So get commenting those suggestions. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.